Bring it on.
Let's dive into some juicy drama in the music world involving the former members of P Square, Paul and Peter Okoye. Once celebrated as one of Africa's greatest music duos, these brothers are now in a major public feud, and it's definitely turning heads. What exactly happened to this dynamic duo? Join us and let's find out. So, recently, Paul, who goes by Rude Boy, made some bold claims in interviews. He said that he was the main guy behind most of P Square's hit songs. That's a pretty big statement, right? But things got really heated when he criticized their collaboration with T.I. on the song Ejeajo, which was actually written by Peter, also known as Mr. P. This kind of comment isn't just casual, it's like throwing down a challenge. On March 17th, 2016, Peter opened up about the ongoing rift between him and his brother Paul, and the conversation was pretty emotional. In a chat with Ayeni Adekunle and Dayo Showemimore at his home, Peter shared some deep feelings. Can you believe that even though Peter and Paul live just a building apart, they rarely see each other? During the interview, Peter was fighting back tears as he expressed what's been going on. When asked about their breakup in 2014, Peter revealed, "Fans should be happy we released the Double Trouble album that year. Honestly, what's happening now should have happened back then. I felt like I was in fear while in P Square. I was worried if I didn't do this or that, the group would break up." He also talked about the tough decision regarding their brother Jude as their manager. 4 years ago, Peter told Jude he needed to step down. He didn't want to disrespect him, but he felt it was time for a change. Jude's reaction? He warned Peter that if he didn't talk to him the right way, there would be trouble. So Peter kept quiet, and then Paul came to him, saying if Jude stepped down, he would go solo. Talk about a tricky situation. Peter explained that the first time rumors of their breakup surfaced, calls came in from all kinds of important people trying to help them resolve their issues. They even ended up on a private jet together without speaking the whole flight. And as for their relationship now, Peter admitted, "I haven't spoken to Paul since December 2015. That's heavy. He mentioned that he traveled in January because he had so much on his mind. Peter Okoye shared how the issues between him and Paul started. He mentioned that P Square worked with artists like J. Martins, Bracket, LKT, and Nice, but those songs were done by Paul alone. Guess what? Peter appeared in the videos for those songs. Then he pointed out that they also collaborated with other artists like Kaha, Dare, and Rugged Man, but those songs didn't have videos. Why? Because Paul refused to be in the videos for Peter's solo work. Peter got frustrated and told Paul that if he was going to do a collaboration alone next time, he should be in the video by himself. It got to a point where other artists started to feel that if they worked with Paul, there would be a video. But if they worked with Peter, there wouldn't be one. The last collaboration they did was with Flavor, and Peter was hesitant to do it. Flavor even had to speak all the Igbo he knew to convince him. Then, after Peter agreed to appear in the video, Paul came to him and asked, "Didn't you say you wouldn't appear in any video for my solo collaborations? Why did you show up for this one?" That really made Peter sad, but he knew there would be other chances in the future. Peter went further to explain that their decision-making has always been a bit like a triangle, where the majority rules. He didn't mind this setup at first because everything seemed to be going well. But as they've grown, things have changed. He pointed out that sometimes decisions are made that don't feel right for him individually. He's been wondering if something is off because he often comes up with ideas for the group, like video concepts and stage performances. But when he shares these ideas, nobody seems to want to accept them. What Peter really wants is a proper structure. He believes they need better management and dedicated business managers to help them grow. And right now, they don't even have an office or any real structure in place. For him, it's all about making sure they have a solid foundation to succeed in the future. As the brothers continue to air their grievances, it's clear that their public comments are starting to undermine each other's contributions to their music. Peter wasn't having any of it. He pointed out that Paul's statements ignore the fact that they created many successful songs together, like Get Squared, Busybody, and Temptation. It's like watching a reality show unfold, where the stakes are high and the emotions are raw. This feud raises an important question about recognition and credit in collaborative work. When artists come together to create something amazing, how do they ensure everyone gets their fair share of acknowledgement? It can be a tricky balance, and it's clear that this disagreement has taken a toll on their relationship, which is really sad for fans who loved their music together. P-Square was a huge success thanks to the brothers' combined talents. But things have taken a turn lately. Peter Okoye believes that their past achievements were all about their teamwork, not just individual skills. He's feeling frustrated with Paul's focus on personal success, as it seems to overlook the special connection that made P-Square great in the first place. This shift from working together to a more individual approach has created a sense of disunity, which is hurting their public image and the legacy they built. Their feud isn't just a family issue, it's really a bigger problem in the entertainment industry about how collaboration and individual success are handled. By putting the spotlight on personal achievements, Paul's comments have downplayed the teamwork that brought P-Square so much popularity. This discord is affecting not only their relationship, but also how fans see them. Many fans appreciated the way they worked together, and now they're worried about the future of the group, about their deal with Universal Music. It all kicked off when Paul took to Instagram and started posting lyrics to their songs, claiming he wrote them all. This happened right after Peter brought some new ideas to the table. Peter was just trying to help P-Square grow and bring in more business, but he didn't expect it to stir up so much trouble. To give you some background, Peter sent his manager to a meeting in Senegal to talk with Universal Music about getting them a deal. But when his manager came back, the feedback wasn't very encouraging. So, Peter even reached out to Diouf, the footballer, to help get the necessary documents and convince his brothers to go ahead with the deal. After a few months, they started seeing some money come in. Initially, when they filled out the forms, Jude handled everything as P-Square. They got their first payment and shared it without any issues. The second payment was even bigger, and they split that too. But then Paul came in and said they needed to refill the forms to give proper credit to the songwriter, who he claimed was himself. He warned that if they didn't fix the forms, he would expose Peter and tell everyone he writes all the songs. And guess what? The next day, Paul went online and started posting those lyrics again. Peter couldn't understand why Jude didn't step in during all this drama. It felt like no one was backing him up. This whole situation turned into a real mess, and it's clear that tensions were running high. It's a complicated story full of emotions and misunderstandings. These back-and-forth exchanges have shifted the focus from their amazing music achievements to their personal disputes. And that's not good for either of them. Instead of celebrating their hits, people are talking more about their differences, which just fuels the fire of their conflict. The media plays a huge role in all of this. Public statements can shape how we view situations and influence how conflicts get resolved. In this case, the brothers' conflicting stories have created a divided perception of who did what in P-Square. This polarization not only affects their reputations, but could also impact their future in the music industry. It's interesting to see how the public nature of their feud highlights the power of media coverage. When personal disagreements are out in the open, it can really strain relationships, both personally and professionally. Fans are left wondering what's next for the brothers. Can they mend their relationship, or will this feud keep going? For now, all we can do is watch and hope they find a way to focus on their shared history rather than their differences. Many fans are left wondering what's next for these brothers. Will they find a way to make amends, or is this the end of P-Square as we know it? Lots of people are hoping for a reconciliation because their music has been a huge part of many lives across Africa.